Tell us a little bit more about your first fix and flip. How was that about?
So interesting is my first fix and flip went into a lawsuit. I bought it from the auction.
Can you tell us two things? First, what was the actual major challenge of that first flip? And second, what would you do now, today, knowing everything that you do, looking back on that first flip?
So the challenges is thinking like a investor.
What's one piece of advice? How did the first deal? What was the major challenge? You told us about your first flip and how'd you get into real estate, so that was very good.
Yeah, I think like it's kind of cool that you just like accidentally get into something because
Hey, thanks for tuning in, guys. My name is Moises. I'm with Simplending Financial, an account manager here. And today we have Cristina Flips Houses from Instagram, also known as CT Flips Houses. So Cristina, thank you for coming in today. So my first question will be, what inspired you to get into real estate?
Okay, the honest truth, and I love talking about it because I never wanted to get into real estate. There was nothing exciting to me about real estate at all. To me, it was something that the boys do, right? A manly thing to do. I had my partner that actually I met on Instagram. He was like, hey, partner up with me. I'm going to teach you everything you need to know. I was actually in my MBA and almost finishing up my MBA. I wanted to be a corporate boss, right? In a suit, go to work every day. And sure enough, I'm here today, 3 years, I've done 25 purchases. So I think what everybody wants to get into something at the beginning is money, right? Then it came to me more than money, like helping others. I'm in the foreclosure side, so we're always helping homeowners that are in financial distress. Not only that, helping the community, you're working with your contractors, providing jobs. And lastly is building wealth through family, friends. You know, a lot of my friends are invested with me, so is my family. So it's a lot of benefits, not just only making money. What you think?
Money's always good. Yes, money's the best. That's literally what I got into this for, right? You just said something that was very interesting. You said that you want to help family. For me, being Hispanic, it's mostly minority people, right? We're always the ones building the homes, but we're not the ones owning the homes, right? So tell us a little bit more about your first fix and flip. How was that about?
So interesting is my first fix and flip went into a lawsuit. I bought it from the auction. There was a title discrepancy and I had friends and family that saw that I was getting to the flip game. Thankfully, they invested in me and I was able to get out of that lawsuit, bought another flip. Eventually, I turned that flip into a 6-figure spread. So yeah, things like that set me back, but having resources is super important. A lot of people don't have that type of assistance and help. Leveraging with the banks and private money was one key factor that helped my success today.
Very, very interesting. Can you tell us two things? First, what was the actual major challenge of that first flip? And second, what would you do now, today, knowing everything that you do, looking back on that first flip?
So the challenges is thinking like a investor versus a homeowner, right? I think that when you first get into it, you want to be like a star. I'm going to be on HGTV type shit. What helps me a lot is partnering up with people, getting around people that are experienced. You know, I think that a lot of people want to learn it themselves, and the shortcut to life is being around people that are going to be able to help you. Not only that, was I worked for GC for 5 years, so that gave me a lot of insight in the game, right? Learning the construction process, not even though I don't know the labor process, learning the turnaround times, which helped me negotiate with contractors. So a big impact on how I was able to flip houses.
Very, very, very good. A lot of our viewers are going to find that very, very, very good. Good information, because one thing that I do find that a lot of people have making the first fix and flip, like the very, very first ones, they overshoot the after repair value, or they don't have the market rents correctly. They don't get the proper GC to give them the proper, like you said, the proper permits, the amount of money you're going to need. And a lot of times for a first time flipper, that's very, very crucial, and that could mess up their first deal.
Yeah, I think people act emotionally, right? They got a lot of emotions in it, and it's really knowing the numbers, the data, having a good systems, and having a good network, right? Your contractors, your title company, your agents. There's so many people that play part of the flip, not just only you. So everybody plays an important role.
You gotta have a good lender
Yeah,
You're a loan
too.
officer like
That
me,
too.
right? I think those are all the questions. What's one piece of advice? How did the first deal? What was the major challenge? You told us about your first flip, and how'd you get into real estate? So that was very good.
Yeah, I think like it's kind of cool that you just like accidentally get into something because everybody has like a plan, and I feel like it's hard to plan. Like people will ask me like, where do you see yourself in 5 years? Like I don't know. I never wanted to get in this shit, right?
Yeah,
and I'm here.
That's correct.
And then like, where do I see myself in 5 years? I don't know. I might be flipping. I might be lending. Who knows? Probably. Maybe I'll get tired of this stuff, and I'm like, I want to be corporate again. So I know like where I'm at now and what I'm doing now, right? I know what I'm doing this year, and yeah, this is me now. So that's what I tell people all the time. Like sometimes you just gotta go with the flow, and that's the flow state. I don't think you can plan your life too much, but
and have grit too, right? Because I didn't think I was gonna do this either. I worked in the refineries for 15 years, and all of a sudden, just things happen in your life. And one day you wake up and you're like, you know what? I'm tired of doing this. I didn't want to do this to begin with. What can I do differently? And you just set your mind to it, and if you stick with it, because a lot of people told me, what are you doing leaving the refineries? Are you stupid? Yeah. Everybody wants to be a welder until it's time to weld, right? Everybody until it's time to be up there 100 feet in the air making X-ray quality welds, working Saturday and Sundays 12 hours a day. Nobody likes that life. They like seeing, oh, you get per diem, you're getting $3,000 a week, but I don't spend time with my family. I'm out there on the road, I don't do anything. So when I moved over to this, it was very, very, very hard for me not to listen to myself. Because I was the biggest doubter. Right. You can't do this. You got all this. You make over 6 figures. What the fuck are you doing making $40K a year?
Yeah.
What the fuck's wrong with you?
Also,
right?
It's like your environment, right? What you're surrounding yourself with, right? Growing up, like that's a mindset. Like I was taught, you go to school, you get degrees, you work hard, you pay off all your debt, right? That's what my parents taught, right? Save money, save money, save money. No, invest money. Like my parents asked me how I do it. Like my parents grew up and they lived in the same house that they still live in today 30 years later, and they don't know about leveraging hard money and like buying distressed properties, right? Like so my mom's like, how did you get a house for $8,000? Is this a scam? What are you guys doing here? Is this legal? It's because they weren't taught that, and it's a limited mindset, right? Once you're and this wasn't even taught in school because I have an MBA. They don't teach you, hey, this is how you can buy property without showing any proof of income or W-2s, stuff like that, right? This wasn't taught in school, right? So people don't have that information. So information is super important. And basically you would only get that information from surrounding yourself with the right people.
That is 100% correct. My whole life, especially coming from the Hispanic community, it's like don't use credit cards. They're bad. Save all your money. And that's just not the way it is. In today's world, the people that I speak with, they don't own anything. And they cash out, refinance everything. They never use debit cards. They always use credit cards because that's future money. So there's a lot of things that even coming up from the very, very beginning, I feel like as a minority, we're already starting off from behind. Right? You know what I mean? And like for us to get here for the next generation is just to stick to it and believe in yourself. Because if you don't believe in yourself, you're not going to do it, and anything's possible.
Right. I feel like also like the risk tolerance, right? A lot of people have that scarcity mindset, so they're scared to take risks. They're scared, right? They're scared to quit their job because they're just systematic. That's what people are taught. So they just know one way.
It's scary to change careers.
Yes, very scary. But I don't have the MBA in my background, so I mean, I don't use it, but it's there in that mindset too, right? I'm like, if anything fails, I already have it. So it's good to have. I think being ethnic, that's what your parents like pushed you to have the degrees. So it's like more of a family achievement more than self-achievement, even though I'm happy I have it. But I've learned that you don't have to have the degrees, and I'm not saying that I don't hope people don't go to college because I have a daughter, I want her to go to college.
Correct.
But there are ways to be successful without degrees.
100% correct. So thank you so much, Cristina, for joining us today. Y'all stay tuned, like and follow for the next one.